process were brought on board. And we said, let us discuss these issues. Why do we consistently have this issue? And one of the issues we figured out that is still very pertinent even to me was the fact that people feel that if one side wins, another side loses. So we felt we've got to come up with a situation where nobody loses. And what does that mean? It means two primary issues: equity and inclusivity. And how can we handle these? But we also said, let us go out also into the country and here. There are probably other issues. Young people was another issue, because there is growing frustration also about, in and amongst our young people. How do we also bring them on board, cater for their... Let's get their opinions. Let's hear what they have to say. And that actually was the foundation of what today we call BBI. A process that was meant to be inclusive, that was inclusive. I've actually never seen a more inclusive process, save for the process, again led by Raila Odinga and the Honorable Moi Kibaki, former president, that led to the Constitution of 2021. That sought to put all these issues across, and then said, if we rectified these issues, we would then be in a position to say, okay, let's go for an election and have the best of hope that what we have seen in the past, starting all the way from when we started multi-party politics and the violence that we see in elections, the divisions that we see in the country, the ethnic animosity that we see in the country, that if we started dealing with some of these issues, maybe some of this thing would dissipate. That was what BBI was supposed to represent. And it is most unfortunate, like I keep saying, that people have forgotten why we were looking at this, and for short-term political gain have decided to deny Kenyans of what is legitimately in their interest. Because let me ask, one of the things that we used to talk about and we used to say, when you have a situation, if you go into our informal settlements and you go into a lot of these other areas, why do you have such tension? Why do you have such poverty? Then you get and you find out, because it is both about representation, but it is also about resources. Because when we introduced CDF, we also touched to the constituency. So when you have an honorable member of parliament receiving 100 million shillings and another one receiving 100 million shillings, one is distributing 100 million shillings to 50,000 people. Another is distributing 100 million shillings to 1 million people. Is that equity? Is that child in Mathare or Kibera, will he ever have an opportunity ever of going to university if the highest bursary he can ever receive is 5,000 shillings? And we said, if we don't deal with some of these issues, people will consistently feel pent up. And that is why we said, let us actually focus ourselves on this. Let us do it. It was not about who was going to be president, who was not going to be president, How many times have I told you people, I am very grateful to the Almighty God and the people of Kenya for the opportunity they've given me. I am more than happy to serve out my term and finish my program. But I also believe that this is part of my agenda, to be able to bring people together and to be able to ensure that we have a peaceful, stable, united country. And that is why I was very keen on this. Unfortunately, the courts have ruled the way they have ruled, and I believe that they have been highly misguided in that process. Unfortunately, we have had politicians, like I'm saying, for short-term political gains, who have deviated from why we wanted the BBI to it being an issue of competition. And I don't know why, because all of these people, I mean, I was hearing some people say, this BBI